book of Enoch. And it came to pass, when the sons of men had increased, that in those days there were born to them fair and beautiful daughters, and the angels, the sons of heaven, saw them and desired them. And they said to one another, Come, let us choose for ourselves wives from the children of men, and let us begot for ourselves children. And Simyaza, who was their leader, said to them, I fear that you may not wish this deed to be done, and I alone will pay for this great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath and bind one another with curses, so not to alter this plan, but to carry out this plan effectively. Then they were all swore together, and all bound one another with curses to it. And they were in all 200, and they came down on Ardis, which is the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called the mountain Hermon, because on it they swore and bound one another with curses. And there are and these are the names of their leaders: Simyaza, who was their leader, Urekiba, Ramiel, Kokobel, Tamiel, Ramiel, Daniel, Ezekiel, Barakiel, Asiel, Amras, Aniel, Zachiel, Shamsiel, Satiel, Turiel, Yomiel, Arasiel. These are the leaders of 200 angels, and of all the others with them. And they took wives for themselves. And everyone chose for himself one each. And they began to go into them, and were promiscuous with them, and they taught them charms and spells, and they swore, and they showed them the cutting of roots and trees, and they became pregnant and bore large giants. And their heights was 3,000 cubits. These devoured all the toils of men, until men were unable to sustain them. And the giants turned against them in order to devour them. And they began to sin against birds, and against animals, and against reptiles, against fish, and they devoured one another's flesh, and drank the blood from it. Then the earth complained about the lawless ones. And Azazel taught men to make swords, and daggers, and shields, and breastplates. And he showed them the things after these, and the arts of making them, bracelets and ornaments, and the art of making up the eyes, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and the most precious stones, and all kinds of colored dyes. And the world was changed. And there was great impurity and much fornication, and they went astray, and all their ways became corrupt. I'm gonna pause right there. I am sick. I have a cold. Excuse me. This is just a test. Will be when I'm better, reading the entire book of Enoch and uploading it. I just want to say I'm not going to use this version. I'm going to try to get the most untainted. I'll try to get an original copy and read it. But excuse me, I just wanted to test this. I've never done an audio recording a book before. My voice is really messed up because I'm sick, but the Lord sees what I'm doing. That's all that matters. I will say real quick that the fallen angels are mostly behind all the wickedness, as it is written, the wickedness of this world. That's what we fight against. We're not fighting against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. So the fallen angels that had sex with women, giants came about, and when the giants died, I'm gonna explain later. The giants, the spirits of the Nephilim, or the giants, they stayed on the earth. So that's why you have evil spirits. That's why you have demonic possession. the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So these are things, topics that the everyday Christian don't talk about. This is not in their churches because of the 501c3. You know, they're taught to teach only specific things like prospering, you know, but it's all about having a relationship with the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. I just wanted to test. I will make another recording of the book of Enoch. I am sick, but all praises to the Most High.